For nearly a decade, one uncomfortable question has followed the Tesla Semi like a shadow. Not whether it was fast, not whether it was powerful, not even whether it worked. The real question was simpler and far more damaging. Why wasn't it being built? Ever since Tesla rolled the Semi onto the stage, it has been the most doubted electric vehicle in the entire transportation industry. Praised in theory, applauded in demonstrations, but quietly dismissed in boardrooms and logistics offices around the world. People believed it was impressive. People believed it was efficient. But very few believed Tesla could actually mass-produce a Class 8 electric semi-truck at scale. And honestly, the skepticism didn't come out of nowhere. From the moment the Semi was unveiled until today, the total number of units produced could be counted on one hand twice. Nearly 8 years passed, and the world kept asking the same question in different ways. If this truck was so revolutionary, why wasn't it everywhere? Why weren't highways filled with silent electric semis replacing diesel giants? For a long time, Tesla didn't give a clear answer. Until now. Because according to Elon Musk, the Tesla Semi wasn't delayed because it failed. It was delayed because it was waiting. Waiting for a factory built specifically for it. Waiting for battery technology mature enough to make it profitable. Waiting for manufacturing methods advanced enough to scale it properly. And when you look at the Semi rolling onto roads in the coming years, Musk says you won't even recognize it as the same truck. The Tesla Semi that arrives next year is not an update. It's a rebirth. The original Semi was always an engineering statement. It proved something important. It proved that an electric truck could haul massive loads over long distances with shockingly low energy consumption. In real-world operations, it showed it could travel hundreds of miles while pulling more than 70,000 pounds, using less energy per mile than many people thought physically possible. That alone shook the industry. But behind that performance was a compromise that most people never noticed. The battery. From the very beginning, Tesla made a deliberate decision to use lithium iron phosphate battery chemistry in the Semi. It wasn't because it was the most advanced option. It was because it was the safest, the cheapest, and the most stable choice at the time. For a heavy-duty truck operating long hours in extreme conditions, safety matters more than anything. Lithium iron phosphate batteries are remarkably stable. They handle cold weather better than many alternatives. They resist thermal runaway. They are far less likely to ignite, which is critical when you are moving massive loads across thousands of miles of public roads. But that safety came with a cost. Energy density. Lithium iron phosphate batteries store less energy per unit of weight. To achieve long range, Tesla had to pack the Semi with a massive number of cells. That meant more weight, more complexity, more cost at the pack level. Even though each individual cell was relatively inexpensive, the sheer quantity required pushed the overall battery system into a heavy, bulky solution. In freight transportation, weight is money. Every extra pound of battery is a pound you cannot sell as cargo. Every unnecessary kilogram reduces payload capacity, increases rolling resistance, and eats into efficiency. Over long-haul routes, those small penalties add up into massive operating costs. The original Semi proved the concept, but it was never the end game. And Tesla knew it. That is why the next generation Semi is abandoning lithium iron phosphate for long-range hauling and moving to something far more ambitious. The 4680 cell. This battery represents a fundamental shift, not just for Tesla cars, but for Tesla's entire energy ecosystem. With dramatically higher energy density, the 4680 allows Tesla to achieve the same total capacity with far fewer cells. Fewer cells means less weight. Less weight means higher payloads. Higher payloads mean better economics for fleet operators. But this battery does more than just store energy. Its tabless design reduces internal resistance. That means less heat, less wasted energy, and longer lifespan. In a vehicle designed to operate day after day for years, battery longevity is not a luxury. It is survival. What's fascinating is that Tesla is not even increasing the advertised range of the Semi with this upgrade. The range remains roughly the same, not because Tesla couldn't push it further, but because they chose a smarter trade-off. Instead of chasing bigger numbers, Tesla is shrinking the battery pack while maintaining range, lowering cost, and increasing payload capacity. This is not a marketing move. It is a logistics decision. For fleet operators, cost per mile matters more than headline range figures. By reducing battery mass and production cost, Tesla is turning the Semi from a technological curiosity into a serious economic weapon. And this is only part of the transformation. Charging, long considered the Achilles heel of electric trucking, is undergoing its own quiet revolution. The new Semi is designed to handle megawatt-class charging at levels that would have sounded absurd just a few years ago. Charging times that once forced drivers into extended downtime are being compressed into manageable breaks that fit naturally into regulated rest periods. That means less idle time, more miles per day, higher revenue per truck. But perhaps the most visible change comes from the outside. The original Semi still looks futuristic today, but its design reflects the limitations of the era it was born into. Sharp edges, upright surfaces, and structural elements optimized for early manufacturing rather than ultimate efficiency. The new Semi is different. Everything about its exterior has been reshaped to slip through the air more cleanly. Curves replace angles. Surfaces flow rather than clash. Even small reductions in aerodynamic drag translate into massive energy savings over long distances. In trucking, a fractional improvement in drag coefficient can mean thousands of dollars saved per vehicle per year. And Tesla chased those fractions relentlessly. The front profile is smoother. The windshield is lighter and easier to replace. Lighting elements are integrated not just for appearance, but to guide airflow. Even the placement of sensors and cameras has been rethought to minimize turbulence. Because yes, this truck is being built for autonomy. That is the unspoken truth behind almost every design decision. Long-haul trucking is brutal. Fatigue is not a side effect. It is a defining feature of the job. Human attention degrades. Reaction times slow. Accidents happen. Autonomy is not about replacing drivers overnight. It is about reducing the cognitive burden that leads to mistakes. The Semi is being prepared for a future where it can drive itself for extended periods, stopping only to recharge and undergo inspections. To make that possible, Tesla has redesigned the vehicle to accommodate a dense network of cameras, sensors, and computing hardware. These systems must work flawlessly in rain, dust, darkness, and chaos. And this is where Tesla's advantage becomes clear. They are not starting from scratch. Every Tesla vehicle on the road today is a data collector. Millions of miles of driving data flow back into Tesla's neural networks, training systems to understand the real world at scale. That same infrastructure now feeds the Semi. It is not learning in isolation. It is inheriting years of experience. Autonomy changes the economics of trucking in ways that are hard to overstate. A truck that can operate nearly around the clock, stopping briefly to recharge, fundamentally redefines productivity. Utilization rates skyrocket. Revenue per asset increases. Labor shortages become less crippling. And Tesla is building the Semi to live in that world. But none of this matters if you cannot build the truck in volume. That has always been the elephant in the room. This is where the story truly changes. Tesla has finally built a factory designed specifically for the Semi, not adapted, not shared, dedicated, A production line engineered from the ground up for high throughput, high automation, and relentless efficiency. This facility is not about craftsmanship. It is about scale. The goal is staggering. Hundreds of trucks per day. That number alone explains why Tesla waited. The Semi could not be built profitably at low volume. It required a manufacturing leap, and Tesla does not make half jumps. By integrating battery production directly into the factory, Tesla reduces supply chain risk and cost volatility. By automating assembly, Tesla compresses build times to levels that traditional manufacturers struggle to comprehend. Each improvement compounds the next. Lower cost, higher output, faster iteration. This is how Tesla has disrupted every market it has entered. And trucking is next. As production scales, prices fall. As prices fall, adoption accelerates. As adoption accelerates, infrastructure expands. This feedback loop is not theoretical. We have watched it happen with electric cars, solar energy, and battery storage. The Semi is simply the next domino. Traditional truck manufacturers are watching closely, because this is not just about electric drivetrains. It is about a completely different philosophy of manufacturing and operation. Diesel trucks are complex machines filled with thousands of moving parts that wear, degrade, and fail. Electric trucks simplify that equation dramatically. Fewer components, lower maintenance, predictable operating costs. When fleet managers run the numbers honestly, emotion fades quickly. And this brings us to the real question. Can the new Tesla Semi take down the giants of the industry? The answer depends on one thing: execution. If Tesla delivers on production, reliability, and support, the Semi does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be good enough at scale. That has always been Tesla's strategy. Build something that improves rapidly, deploy it widely, and let data drive evolution. The early Semi proved that electric trucking was possible. The next Semi is designed to prove that electric trucking is inevitable. This is not just about a truck. It is about the future of freight. Silent highways, lower emissions, predictable costs, machines that work longer, safer, and smarter. The Tesla Semi was never late. It was waiting for the world to catch up. And now, the world might not be able to keep up at all. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to like the video, share it with anyone following the future of transportation, and subscribe to TESLARIS for deep, thoughtful analysis that goes beyond headlines. Let us know in the comments what you think. Is the Tesla Semi finally ready to change everything, or does diesel still have a future? We'll see you in the next one.